Hi Libra, this is Kay. You're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to your reading. And let's begin. We're going to start off with this Oracle deck to find out what Archangel Michael needs you to know today, Libra. I hope you're doing well. I'm excited to get this going. Alright, please like and subscribe, especially if this video resonates with you, and thank you for watching the video. Inner freedom, number 13. That has to do with establishing some type of foundation or security, you know, safety, structure, that kind of stuff. Just being stable. Inner freedom. That's stability right there. Inner freedom. Wow. Because you know, anything that's going on innerly, anything that's going on inside of you, I like to invent new words, that whatever's going on inside is what actually happens in your sphere, in your world. Because it's, you know, we create our own reality. So our auras are our own little bubble, our own world that then interacts with other people's worlds, auras, energy. Yeah. So whatever's going on inside will be what is without, you know, whatever's within will be without. On the outside. Become your reality. We have the cross. And that's a 9. So something's ended. Cross is usually about something that's, you know, you're experiencing grief from, mourning over, having lost. We'll get more information about that in a moment. Major Arcana. What does that Major Arcana message want to be for our lovely Libras? We have the Magician. Wonderful. So inner freedom, it allows you, it gifts you with the power of and the mastering of manifestation, amongst other things. Inner freedom usually means that you've allowed your inner being, your inner child, to heal and grow up, to mature, spiritually grow, right? Realizing how powerful it truly is. That's you. And to clarify, we have the Two of Wands. So having a decision to make, to go this way or that way, sitting at crossroads at the moment. Okay. And you're going to be manifesting one way or the other. Let's see. I would say definitely if one way is just to kind of stay on the same path that you're on, you know, and it'll evolve more less as a snail's pace, because we hang on to our wounds, we hang on to our beliefs and our attitudes and opinions about things, and project or internalize our pain, either project it onto others to be the cause for it or the blame for it, or we internalize it, making it ourselves to be the one to be feel shameful and blame ourselves, right? So if you're not going that path, you're going the other path. The other path is being with inner freedom, your new stability, structure. Safety is a foundation that has to do with seeking inner strength by knowing who you are, how powerful you are, and who it is that supports you, which is, you know, the highest of all, the one that created us, the spiritual us, the soul us. So number 36 is the cross, and it says, I am the bringer of grief, sadness, burdens, and ordeals. Pain, suffering, and guilt is the area of my expertise. I claim weeping, tears, and lamentation, ask for prayers and supplications. When happy cards come at my right, then you shouldn't experience too much fright. Wow. The first thing I got from this is that you're overcoming the need to feel, to experience pain and suffering the same way you had, and that whatever you might have internalized as you should be ashamed of or feel guilty about, you've been able to release that through your ability to master your emotions and understanding what things are, why things happen. And I mean, there's no real answer to why things happen. There's just a purpose to it, and the purpose is that it's there. It's an event in our life that we experience so that we get a chance to grow from it or not. So that's it. It's the two, either grow from it and move on, healing as you continue to heal, moving on, becoming more of more strength, more developing more inner strength as you move along through your challenging times and obstacles, and letting go of the pain, and allowing yourself to heal. Or you stay in that energy of the belief that we're really just a victim, and that things happen to us that it should never happen to us, which is true. It should never happen to you, but if it's happened to you, there's a reason for it, and the purpose is for you to be able to grow and evolve from it. And most of us don't. Most of us sit in the bubble of victimhood and then projecting the blame out that I have no part in this, I have no responsibility in it. There is some nugget of responsibility. There's just like even the smallest mustard seed of responsibility on our part. And if it has to go back to the idea that you wanted to have this experience at a much higher level, at a different consciousness level than what you're conscious of it at the 3D level. So right now we could say that we're not responsible till the cows come home, but in the end it happened anyways. And if we're creating our outer experience because of what's going on inside of us, there's something inside of us that said we needed to have this experience so that we can release it once and for all, and walk free from that ever happening, anything like that happening to us again, because we see the purpose of it. What's the purpose behind it? We understand it. We may not like it at all, but we will tolerate it, simply because as time goes by, we start seeing how we grew from it, how now to be discerning and see the red flags, and to know that you would never let this happen to you again, because you'd be more observant, more conscious of the triggers and the other things that are showing up as red flags. That's you evolved and evolving. So this is a 9 of Cups. Overindulgence or happy in gift, happy in, why did I say gift? Why did I say gift? Happy in wish fulfillment. I said gift. Interesting. A Freudian slip, right? King of Pentacles. An evolved being. The Queen of Wands. 2 people. 6 of Wands. Victory and success. Judgment. Answering the call. Making a final decision. Knight of Pentacles. Moving at a snail's pace, but being very methodical and strategic, and committed to the path where you will succeed. You will cross the finish line. The Moon, some fears, think something's hidden, something's not clear. 5 of Swords, having to do what needs to be done in order for you to achieve victory and success, or sabotaging your efforts moving forward. 3 of Wands is being prepared to make that move forward. As soon as that ship comes in, you're going to be making use of whatever the ship brings to you, or you're jumping on the ship to move forward. The Hermit, seeking guidance and possibly experiencing the dark night of the soul. Six of Pentacles, there's balance and equal reciprocity. Three of Swords is heartbreak, breaking your own heart, just be feeling disappointed. Doesn't have to be actually to that extent where it's an actual heartbreak, but being, quite disappointed in yourself or someone else. Seven of Cups, back of the deck, the Magician again. So this is a major force for you. The Magician comes in twice in your reading. So you're going through all of this to become the master of your life. Two of Swords, needing to make a decision with the Knight of Cups, and I'm going to pull out the Ten of Pentacles. Yep, Ten of Pentacles. Then there was the Three of Pentacles after that, and the High Priestess, so it was good energy after that too. Okay, so what I see here, guys, is a gift. You've been given a gift. Been given a gift. You have been given a gift that is for you where you are at in your spiritual evolvement, or just simply in your day-to-day efforts of moving forward to something, towards something, a wish fulfillment. You've been given a gift. See, there's that. See, the world is in your hands. You have been given something by the divine, as in inner strength, clarity, enlightenment. Something came to you as, something happened to you, something happened to you, Libra, that pretty much turned you on your head. It was a loss. It was some kind of thing that you feel like you've lost out on something. Lost out. This is the Six of Wands right here, so that's victory and success. Lost it here, but getting it back here. Okay? Lost it here, but getting it back here, the Six of Wands. So you haven't truly ever lost it, and we don't ever really truly lose anything. But whatever happened turned you on your head, and you started looking within, or looking for answers. You were seeking for the truth about something. You were seeking the truth. And by seeking that truth, you faced many times where you're standing at a crossroads. Do I think of things this way, or do I see it differently, or do I move, like literally physically move towards a goal this way, or do I go this way? It's whatever. It can be both, like at a spiritual level, or at a spiritual level and 3D level, because again, whatever is going on inside of you spiritually becomes what your 3D world represents, or it exhibits it. It exhibits whatever is going on. So, that old saying, whereas if you don't like what you're experiencing right now, think again. Think again. In other words, think differently, and then you will have a different experience. So think again. Create different thoughts. Just tweak a negative thought to something that sounds a little bit more positive. Like, for example, I'm always broke on payday. Yeah, it could be very true, but your bills are getting paid, and you still have money for food. So you could be tweaking that belief that while I might not have any money to spend on things like enjoyment, entertainment, things like that, going out with friends and socializing, I still have my bills paid. My bills are paid, and I still have food in my fridge and cupboards, right? That is acknowledging the complaint, the grievance, which would be something like this, acknowledging the grievance that you're always running short on money, even though you just got paid. You're not saying to yourself, you're not completely denying to yourself that that's not true. You're not saying that's not true, because you experience it to be true. Because every time you get paid, or have been getting paid, there's been nothing left for you to, if Sally calls you up and says, let's go out for dinner tonight, and then let's go to the pub and have some drinks, she might say, I'll pay for dinner. And you might have to say, well, I can't even afford the drinks that, I'd have to pay for at the pub or at the dance hall or whatever. But, you're not going to let Sally pick up the whole tab for the night out, right? You might or might not. For this experience, with this example, you're not going to let that happen. So you experience that you're running out of cassiolas in order to have entertainment after your bills are paid for, and you've got your groceries and your utilities, those are your bills. So anyways, you're still acknowledging that. So in other words, you're telling yourself your truth. But there's also another part of the truth that can put the positive spin on it, where you can make it ameliorate your negative feeling towards that whole experience of knowing that when you get paid, the money's coming in and going right out the window, right? To ameliorate your whole experience of feeling negative about that is by saying, yes, but although that is true, my truth, for now, my bills are paid. Nobody's going to be calling me on the phone and telling me they're going to send my credit card or they're going to evict me or put my mortgage in collections or anything like that. Nobody's going to be doing that, and I still have food to eat for the next 2 weeks, and when payment or payday comes around again. So you put that positive, like that silver lining, kind of looking at it, a spin on it, so that you can help ameliorate the whole negative effect of just leaving it in the negative. You've got to somehow interject some positivity into a negative belief. And the reason why we have beliefs is because we feel like we're experiencing that which we believe, right? But the thing about it is that the reason why we're experiencing it is because we believe it. It's not that we experience it and then it will confirm your belief in it further. But the thing is, the thought was there first. The belief was there first, and then the experience. So now every time the experience comes up, it confirms your belief that you're right. And you are right. As far as the universe goes, you're right about everything. Doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive, you're right about everything. So if we want to be right about, being broke, and just leaving it at that, the universe brings events and people and things, and just orchestrates your whole world of what your energy is attracting to be that matches that energy of being broke. So if you believe you're broke, then you're going to be broke even next paycheck too. You're going to be broke this paycheck, you'll be broke next paycheck. And it'll go on and on and on and on like that until the cycle is broken. And so that's where you've really got to master your mind. You got to pull in all your resources that you have available to you, which is the truth of who you are, that you are full of love, the cup, right? And that you are very resourceful with having the right mindset and anything at your disposal in the 3D world, and the motivation and desire with the wand. That was the pentacle with the wand, to be able to drive yourself into a different, magically magnetize your mind into something that's more life-affirming instead of life-sucking. Okay? Life-affirming, and that's what the gift is. The gift is that you've got the world at your fingertips. You really seriously do. It's your world. It's your world. And whatever your experiences are going to be is as a result of your mind. your thoughts that then create a simultaneous feeling in your body, which is the emotional, the heart ping. The ping, the resonance from your heart and mind goes out around in your world, in your aura, comes out from your heart and your mind, because it's all resonance, it's all energy. It's a vibratory frequency that the universe responds to, because the universe is all energy. So, but whatever you're pinging, that's what the universe is going to answer the call to, answer your call. But you want to have a different call. You want to be asking the universe for a different, like you're calling out to the universe differently. All right, so that's the whole exercise of this particular tarot card reading, is that you have decided that there has to be a change. It has to be a better way, because it's nothing but in your mind you're losing for the most part, especially in areas of finances, possibly, and maybe relationships. Could be health as well. But, it could be any area, Libra. It could be work, where you're losing jobs, and therefore you're always you feel like you're always trying to keep your head above water, because you got to find another job and then wait 3 weeks till you get your first paycheck, because you just happen to get hired halfway between the last pay period. So you've been given a gift. You have to make that decision. Am I going, and you have been. I do believe you have been, Libra. That's the whole thing, is that you are working on it. You've experienced some kind of dreadful loss for you, whatever that loss looks like to you. And believe me, it wasn't victoriously feeling or successfully feeling, as the Six of Clubs would tell you. But you lost something that it really kind of depleted your sails, took the wind out of you. And you had to dig deep within yourself to find some pain release. Not through some kind of chemical or any other outwardly, like worldly, three-dimensional type of painkiller, but you were looking within to find that adrenaline, that serotonin release, a hormone release in your body that would make you feel better. So you've been tapping into all your resources, right? Like I said, the truth of who you really are and how powerful you really are, the love that you have within you to create anything, with the wherewithal, the mindset, and the resources that you have at your fingertips, and the want, the motivation and desire to take a different course in life. The Two of Wands, to go a different course, to become someone who is sitting in a whole lot of wish fulfillment, wishes being granted. Okay, wishes being granted. You're feeling emotionally satisfied in the Nine of Cups. The King of Pentacles, this is you. Now, being able to find, you got your crown now. You've been able to become a master manifester. You're someone who is looking at being able to create in the 3D world. What can I create? Can I create a very stable and secure financial portfolio, a financial investment, a financial life, just a financial life. Life that's the type of life where you've got your job secure and you're feeling good. You're feeling good emotionally, and now it's just a matter of taking and putting all that good feeling and all your resources into you creating a commitment to your financial betterment, and just being someone who commits. This is somebody who acts, the Queen of Wands. You're looking really good too, by the way. That you've got this energy of commitment, and I'm grounded, and I'm a hard-working person. I do what I say, and I say what I do. If I give you a promise, I follow through on it. I am a leader in the 3D realm, like I navigate the 3D world quite well, because I have high monetary acumen. I have the ability to sniff out money, or to sniff out some kind of abundance, prosperity. And abundance comes in all sorts of forms, okay? So you are finding a way to be able to feel safe and secure, like that with the inner freedom. Number 13 is 4. That's your security, your structure, your safety net. You're feeling safe and secure through your own commitment to make sure that you are okay. You're at least okay. Like, even if the emergency situation crops up financially, you can cover it, or it can be handled. It may not be handled right away, let's say, but you'll be able to source it out so that you can put it into a monthly payment plan or something like that. You taking action, you're ready to take on, and that's why you're finding you've dug into your inner strength, is because you are the Queen of Wands energy. You're in the Queen of Wands, and you can be a man watching this reading in the Queen of Wands, okay, or a woman in the the King of Pentacles energy. You are taking action using your quality that you've integrated, because you're evolved with your crown. You're taking that quality you've integrated. It's very serious. It's part of who you are. You wave your wand with a whole lot of desire and motivation to act, to take charge, take control, and be someone who manifests with the energy of physically acting. Okay, you're a physical actor. You face challenges and obstacles with like vigor. You're kind of like, okay, bring it on, because you're stronger now. You have the inner freedom to have that your inner strength. You're stronger now, so you're not kidding. You're not having to kid yourself anymore and say, oh, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And really, you're thinking, no, the hell, it's not going to be. It's not going to be okay. It's going to be this, that, and the other thing. No, now you're saying, I'm not worried. I've got this. I know how to approach a problem that needs a solution. I know how to do it, and a lot of that is like saying to your inner being, your God, the Jesus, spirit guides, whatever, I need help with this. This is just another bump in the road, and I need some help because I'm not sure what to do. I'm not sure if I can do anything. Especially if you're facing a legal situation, when it starts getting out of your hands and into the lawyers and the court's hands, I'm not sure if there's anything I could do about it, so I don't know how it's all going to work out. I just have to have faith that if I give this to you to work on it from, the ethers, work it on my behalf, you've got my back, you're supporting me. I can have faith in that and just wholly, like not just little bit and then take it back, wholly give it to you and go on with my life, being happy, feeling like I've got this, I'm successful, I'm victorious, because I know where my strength truly lies. It's from answering the call, and the call that you have been answering, the response you've been giving the call is a final decision to say, this is who I am. I'm somebody who is, it may be slow going. I may have to trot a little bit and, just kind of plod along. But I have a strategy, and my strategy is to give it to the divine and let the divine, in the divine timing, bring the solution. Now, for example, if it was something like it was a court case and you had to, hire a lawyer and all that sort of stuff, it'll seem like the courts have got all the power in like the so-called timing of it all. That when you're going to feel like you're released from it, when you win you win the case, because you're going to win the case if you do this. And even if you don't win the case, let's just say if you don't win the case, it's going to come out where somehow it's going to be a benefit to you in some way. You're not going to lose as much as you might have done before. Your lawyer's going to be able to make a deal, and it's not going to be as bad as it might have been if they couldn't have made a deal. So it's possible that you still could not come out on top of a court case, especially if you're in the wrong. Like, seriously. But if you're not in the wrong and you just were like an innocent bystander, just kind of came up and suddenly you're being told that's not illegal, you're doing something illegal. I didn't realize it. Like, you didn't know, no. And now you're being sued or whatever. So you're going to have to pay to some extent for the responsibility of knowing your laws, that you didn't know your laws. So you can't plead complete innocence unless you are really completely innocent. And not knowing a law doesn't make you innocent, right? That's what it says. You can't plead innocence just because you didn't know what the rules were, the laws were. You're supposed to, right? So anyways, you're going to be plodding along, and you're going to be able to feel rest assured that you're going to finish you're going to cross the finish line, and you're going to be a winner to some level. You're going to be a winner, okay? And if it's like, I was saying, the court case, it might look like the courts have got all the timing under their control. It's not really. It's not the court that has timing. It's the divine has the control, the timing on it all. So if things seem to be being delayed, prolonged, longer than what was expected, your lawyer might say, well, I would have expected this by now. Yeah, you might have in any other time, but at this time, things might need to go slower because your lawyer might suddenly come across some information or be handed some information that you need that's going to benefit you that you wouldn't have had if you'd already gone to court. See what I'm saying? So it's just like when you're driving down the road and someone gets in front of you and they just they drive like a turtle, right? They're slow and you're just getting frustrated and literally peed off, right? This is where you take one of those moments where you say, I can't get around this guy. It's impossible to get around. There's too much traffic coming the other way and it's only a one lane, that kind of thing. I can't get around this guy and they're going to make me late for work. Well, the best way to look at something like this, if you're trying to become a more peaceful, happier individual and not somebody who continues to project blame and just being angry, that type of person, if you're trying to heal your anger and trying to be peaceful and calm and happier as a result, you're going to say, you know what, they're keeping me from some situation down the road that I might have gotten into where it caused me some kind of accident, pain or wreck or something, so somehow this person being right in front of me where I can't get around them, there's a reason for this. There's a purpose. And if it's not something to do with down the road, it's just the fact that it's a lesson for us to develop patience. To develop patience and to accept the fact that this is where I am right now. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it other than to pull over and just sit on the side of the road, wait for a few minutes, and take some deep breaths because, as longer you wait on the side of the road, the further down that road that person's going to be. And even at that point, if you do catch up to them again, you might actually be in a position where you can pass them. It's like you've got choices. It's not like I never have a choice. But you've always got a choice. Like I said, if you can't get around them, there's nothing you can do about that. You can pull over on the side of the road, if it's safe, and give it a minute or two. While you're doing that, breathe. And listen to some song on the radio. But this is this is your journey. And you're going to be victorious. You lost it here, victory and success, like winning. You lost it, you're winning here. You're picking it back up again. The moon, this is things that always are going to come across your table that you cannot see. Okay, things are always going to be hidden to you, but that's the nuance of putting your faith in the divine and the unseen. Because with the court's example, there's going to be things that are going to be unforeseen, right? That are just going to come up, like the prosecuting attorney, or the defending attorney is going to come up with something that sort of hits everybody blindsided. What, that kind of thing. But now you're going to become aware of it, and now you can deal with it, right? So it's a type of thing where you're going to have to figure out how to pull out all the stops and do whatever is necessary for you to be able to win. And this is not in a way that you're going to try and be in an energy of manipulation and power mongering and just trying to be deceptive. It's in the energy of, I've got to figure out how to swing into my victory. This person's swinging, because this is Cirque de something tarot, Cirque de Tarot. Swing to my victory, and this guy here who has all the swords, I need to get those swords, 5 of swords, because if I don't do this from the mindset of I've got to do what I need to do, which is to make sure that I can take care of, and I have all my I's dotted, all my T's crossed, and give it to the divine to solve for you on your behalf. When you finally get to that point where you've done all that you can do and there's nothing more for you to do, it's about divine timing now. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to do whatever you need to do to make sure that you put this in the most capable hands where victory and success can be realized. Okay, will be realized. 3 of Wands, again, is like waiting for your ships to come in, waiting for the verdict in this example, waiting for what is to come of you, making these life-changing decisions to tap into your inner strength, to find that inner freedom. Because when you're feeling free from the world and all the cause and effect stuff, which is the world, when you're feeling free from the cause and effect, the consequences of life, that if things can just kind of roll off your back, if you allow things to, as scary as they might be, you still let it roll, and you try not to have too much control over it at all. You might be thinking about it, might be worried about it at times, but then you can go into meditation or yoga or something and say, I need to bring peace into my energy right now, my aura, which is into my body as well. I need to bring peace into my mind and my body so that I can give this wholly, quite freely over to the divine. And that's when I start feeling, okay, I've done the exercise of giving my problem to the divine. Now I'm free. I'm literally, I'm free. I'm free. I know that I'm not free in the 3D world right now, but when divine timing kicks in, it's going to come out to be something that's going to benefit me. I'm going to receive rewards as opposed to consequences. Okay? And it's all about you always checking in. Like I said, if you need to get into your yoga position or your meditation position, or go for a walk in nature, go out into the forest, commune with nature, and find that balance, that equal give and take. If when you put whatever you put into something, you'll get it back. And especially when you give something to divine, you get it back tenfold. It's not an equal give back. The divine, when we give something to divine and we full-heartedly give it to the divine and say, I'm done with that. I don't want to think about it for another moment. I know that you've got this for me. I'm not worried or concerned anymore. The divine starts filling up your life, filling up your experience now, your physical experience, your life experience, with other things to put your mind on. Other things good, rewards. Tenfold, right? So now your focus has been diverted to something else that's more uplifting. This 3 of Swords energy is like you have been feeling, before the inner freedom, you had been feeling as though you just disappointed in life, disappointed in people, disappointed in the world, politics, religion, disappointed. too much chaos and confusion with the Seven of Cups. But the Magician is here to say, make a choice, because Seven of Cups is like you got all these options, and it could be confusing, it could be chaotic to you as well. But when the Magician comes around, you're making a choice. You're saying, I'm going for the cup. You know, the cup that's got the cup in it of love. I'm going for the cup of inner strength, right? I'm going for that cup. I'm choosing to choose life or happiness over choosing to choose death, negativity, all that is not good kind of thing. The Two of Swords, again, it's like, this is where it says you have to make a decision. You cannot sit in limbo with blindfold out and with your arms crossed across your heart saying, I'm refusing to make a decision about this. I'm not going to do anything. Well, that's a decision in itself, right? So you really got to be able to manifest a positive outcome for yourself. You've got to make a decision. You've got to make a choice. You got to do this or do that. Go this way or that way. The Knight of Cups, that is like the world is going to be handing you, delivering up to you, Libra, this cup of sincere thank you, that I love and adore you and admire you. And that's what I was talking about with the Six of Pentacles and the tenfold, right? You give the divine three, because it's six, right? 3 pentacles on each side. You give the divine 3, which is all that you've got, and you give it faithfully and wholeheartedly. The divine throws back, what would it be? 300? Tenfold? 3 times 10? 30. Jeez. Okay, 30. You get 30 back, and that's just, just a not a derogatory, just coming up with something. That you can't say it's going to be 30, but it's going to be a lot more than what you gave, in other words. So the Knight of Cups is going to be giving you the cup of love, the offer of love. I love you, and this is you with your legacy now. You coming out on top with the 10 of Pentacles. You're coming on the top now. You've got you've got the most excessive amount of pentacles you can get in the tarot. That you can turn into a legacy, something that's long term, something you're not going to spend or lose out on for quite some time. Not lose out on, but spend to spend it. Let's just say, even if it's karmic, even if it's dharma, that's good energy. Karma, karma is usually for the negative, but dharma is the positive. You are going to be spending your dharma for a long time. All right, guys? That's what we've got to look at here. Is that you just have to make that decision and stick with it. Don't get back on the fence at any time, because you might be saying, oh, it's not moving fast enough. Things are not happening fast enough. The solution's not showing up. I need it to show up. Why isn't it showing up? And I tell you, it's got to, when you put it into the divine's hands, you've got to say, it's divine timing now. I have no control over divine timing whatsoever. So when it happens, when the solution shows up, that's when it's going to happen. And even if you don't put it into the divine's hands to find a solution, you try to make it work on your own, you're going to hit all sorts of obstacles and challenges that are going to delay it anyways. And if you actually are able to resolve a problem, it's going to be because you did it from your own ego, a way of handling something. Like if you needed to find a way to pay somebody back $10,000. Well, you said, okay, I don't have $10,000, so, but I got this visa and I got that visa, and then I can go to the bank and I have a little bit of savings. I'll ask for a small loan, and I'll take $5,000 or $3,000 off this visa as cash advance, $2,000 off this one because that's what I got available. I have $1,000 in, and then I'll take a loan for $4,000, something like that. That's you coming up with your idea, your fix, okay? Your worldly fix. And then next thing you know, you get all this credit card debt, right? And now you've got these minimum payments that are twice or 3 times or 4 times more than they were before you took the cash advances off of them. And yeah, I mean, it leaves you short on money because maybe both your credit cards now are totally jacked up where you can't even use it if you had an emergency come along. But sure, you got that guy off your back for $10,000, and then they come back and they say, hey, well, if you had $10,000 then, why not give me another $10,000? And if you don't give me $10,000, I'm going to do this, that, and the other thing. And it'll be something that you're worried about happening. So now you're in a real pickle again because you don't have $10,000. You literally don't have $10,000, and they're going to go and do whatever it is they're threatening you for. And I'm not talking about it's going to be necessarily something illegal. I'm just, what they're doing, embezzling from you, is illegal. But what they're threatening may not be something illegal. It may be something that they may say, I'm going to, you might have been cheating on your wife or your husband, and they're saying, I know, or they are the one you cheated with. I know you did this. I'm going to tell your wife or your husband, and maybe you're somebody who's of clergy. Just an example, okay? A clergy, and they tell the diocese, they threatened you that they would, and they do if you don't come up with another $10,000. So just another silly example, but it's an example of what I'm trying to talk about to translate the energies here. But this is what I got, guys. This is your learning. This is you being seeking because you have suffered some kind of loss. Something negative has happened to you, okay, that you had to go within because you just you didn't have any other option. At this point, let's say that second $10,000, that's you now hitting rock bottom, right? With the hermit energy, hitting rock bottom because you don't have $10,000. You don't want your wife to find out you've been cheating. You don't want your kids to know. You don't want, if you're clergy, you don't want the diocese to know. This is the example. So you've had to dig in deep. So especially if you're a clergy, you would definitely be talking to God. But if you're not clergy, that's what you're doing. You're going inwardly to find your strength, the strength to come out of this and overcome this. Okay, I hope this was helpful, Libra. Till next time, bye for now.